Our reading this week focused on two key ideas: building information systems and making the business case for information systems and managing projects. Chapter 13 this week covered the 4 different types of organizational change that are empowered with information technology, which range from incremental to mass change: automation, rationalization, business process redesign, and paradigm shifts. Automation takes tasks that are already being done by employees and makes them faster and more efficient by having information technology complete the work for them, such as calculating paychecks. Rationalization of procedures involves the streamlining of the procedures that are in place to remove bottlenecks. Information technology often allows for fewer manual steps in this case and leads to additional automation. Business process redesign goes beyond streamlining processes to redesign the business process entirely to make a more efficient system. Lastly, paradigm shifts go beyond specific divisions in a company and affect the company as a whole by transforming the nature of the business. When a company wants to build an information system, they must go beyond the automation and rationalization and at least start with a business process redesign. This is because the fundamental nature of the business process will change around the new information system and requires staff to change their standard operating procedures in order to maximize the benefit of the redesign. To this end, companies utilize business process management, which is a continual process to ensure the most effective process is in place for any given area of the company. Chapter 14 this week discussed how managers must advocate for the need and introduction of the information systems. An important fact is that information system projects often fail because organizations incorrectly assess the utilization of or change into an information system. To combat this, special managerial and organizational techniques need to be applied to make the information systems effective. Before embarking on a project of this nature, a business case must be made to analyze the costs, benefits, and risks associated with the information system to justify the company making the investment. After a business case has been made and an organization has decided to proceed with an information system, it is crucial that the program be managed properly, otherwise there are large risks including cost overruns, time slippage, technical shortfalls, impairing performance, or, in the worst case scenario, a failure to obtain anticipated benefits. To ensure that a program is successful, program management must be employed, which deal with the 5 major variables of business: scope, time, cost, quality, and risk. Scope defines what is or is not included in the project. If the scope is not controlled, then the company runs the risk of not creating the benefits that are required or negatively affecting the other variables. Time is the amount of time needed to complete the project. This must be carefully managed or the company runs the risk of not meeting deadlines, which could lead to failing to capture a new market if competitors get to that market first, or losing money to paying employees to work more hours than anticipated. Cost is how much capital is required to pay for a project, which is not only based on time, such as labor, but also includes hardware, software, and workspace. Quality is defined by how well the project meets its objectives. For instance, if a project is completed on time and under cost, but it does not provide the functionality that is needed to improve the company, the project would be considered low quality. Finally, risk is defined by the potential problems that can threaten the success of the project. These risks can easily affect time, cost, or quality, but in the worst case scenario, the project would not be completed, thus affecting the scope of the project. My selected reading this week focuses on risk management regarding AI and is an article from the MIT Sloan Management Review entitled "AI-Related Risks Test the Limit of Organizational Risk Management." The article discusses that in a panel of 42 experts on AI, 62% believe that organizations are not expanding risk management capabilities fast enough to address AI-related risk. This is due to the rapid development of AI that one expert described as something that businesses will struggle with for years as AI technology is developing in nanoseconds. Smaller organizations unable to afford the expertise or resources required to build up their risk management capabilities, however, even for the larger companies that can afford to do so, the major issue is the ambiguity regarding the nature of AI-related risks. Some companies are using risk management strategies that already exist and applying them to AI. However, others believe that AI is so unique that it requires its own kind of risk management. Some have even suggested that AI will be needed to assess its own risks. Although there is little consensus regarding what AI risk management will ultimately become, the experts did recommend that companies follow 4 key ideas. First, identifying a nimble approach based on high-level guiding principles. Then, staying agile and keep learning. Increase investments in risk mitigation tools. And finally, start addressing AI risk management now instead of waiting for governments to regulate them.